And so when you got a vision, and I'm talking about one from God, it requires God. But what does he require of us so that we don't miss our shot? You ready? Y'all sure you're kind of quiet to me, but I mean, you know, I ain't mad at you. It's raining. I feel it. I want you to listen real closely. Elisha tells Joash to do something, and what does this sound like to you? Y'all going to finish this message for me. He asked Joash to do something that requires effort. It requires aim. It requires instruction. It requires help from God. He tells him to do something, to have it done before knowing the exact outcome ahead of time. This should start sounding familiar in a minute. He tells him to hit a target, but it's only known by faith. It's done through an open window. His shooting becomes ineffective because it wasn't repeated enough, reflecting back a lack of confidence in the process. He tells him, you got to shoot now because the shooting has strategic moment. Once it's gone, it's gone. Failing to shoot the arrows doesn't just hurt you, Joash, but it hurts everyone else. You know what that sounds like to me? Prayer. Prayer. It requires effort. Prayer. It requires instruction. Prayer. You got to pray before you know the outcome. Prayer. You only know the target when you operate in faith. Prayer. It's done through an open window. Prayer. It's ineffective in our lives sometimes because we stop it and we don't repeat the process. Prayer. It has strategic moments that once the moment is gone, the moment is gone. Prayer. And when I fail to pray, I don't just hurt myself, it hurts others. Prayer. If you want to get a vision from God and you want to see God move in your life, what he says is when I give a vision, the only way that it moves forward is you got to do it with me. He says in order for you not to miss your shot, you got to pray. Y'all ain't saying nothing. And I don't just mean like whisper one of those prayers and you need to be whispering all day long. I get that. I do that. It doesn't just mean just like whisper a prayer like, okay, Lord, help me right now as I take this test. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a prayer that you are sure enough shooting toward heaven, that you're sure enough calling on the Lord, God of hosts, that you're sure that you know that you got an open heaven, that you know you got an audience with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I'm talking about that you know that you're in the presence of the Lord and that his hand is on your hand, and that before you shoot, before you do anything, you know that he's guiding you, he's directing you. You can trust him with your arrows, you can trust him with your requests, you can trust him with your problems, you can trust him with your challenges, you can trust him in the face of your enemies. I'm talking about a sure enough prayer. This thing hit me so heavy this week. I was telling Pastor Mona, I said, I feel like I don't pray enough. Because I'm not talking about the praying that I'm doing. I'm talking about the praying that I could be doing. Here's what I know. If I don't have the drive to keep hitting it in prayer, which is relatively easy compared to dealing with the real problems of life and stopping. See, if you don't have the energy and the stamina to pray it through on your knees, how can you stand there and push it through the things that the challenges? How can you actually deal with the enemies out there? Because see, what we found out here is that the battle wasn't won in the warfare of the fight. The battle was won in the spirit and prayer first. And so a lot of us will run after the battle thinking I can handle this. I got this. I got a savings account. I got this. I got a 401k. I got this. I have a health plan. We think that we have the strength to handle the enemies, but God is saying, you don't even know what's around the corner. You can't handle it without me. And if you want to win and have total victory, you're only going to have it, what? Through prayer. What we do Monday through Friday is just to get you started. Y'all ain't saying nothing. That's your warm-up. That's my warm-up. Well, for those of us that have been in this for a minute, you know how to get a breakthrough. You know how to get a prayer through. You know how to reach heaven. You know how to get God's attention. And God said, I need you to do that kind of praying. Because there's too much at stake. And the worst thing about it all is to get on your deathbed and realize I missed my shot because I didn't pray. Miss my shot to make a difference. Miss my shot with the next generation. Miss my shot with my family. Miss my shot with my impact. Miss my shot. God, don't let me miss my shot. I'm going to stay on my knees so I don't miss my shot. It'd be horrible to make $100,000 and miss your shot. It'd be horrible to go to Rome and to go to Venice but miss your shot. Come on, somebody. It'd be horrible to be dressed to the nine but miss your shot. It'd be horrible to have a terminal degree but miss your shot. He says, when I give a vision, I'm not talking about one that you come up with, that I come up with. When I give a vision, it will always require me, which means you've got to pray. And if you can't pray, you're going to stop. Because when the challenges come, you're going to stop. He says, so what I need you to do, when you get a vision from me, it requires wholehearted prayer. And not just wholehearted prayer, but wholehearted practice. That means that, God, I'm giving you my intention, I'm giving you my effort, I'm giving you my faithfulness, I'm giving you my consistency. Having faith in God, we have two types of Christians. We got the Christians who, all faith. I believe God. He gonna do it for me. Well, he's making a way out of no way. My rent is due, Jesus. But I know you're coming, Lord. The first is tomorrow, God. There's nothing in my bank account, Jesus. Well, have you applied for a job? Oh, no, I'm waiting on the Lord. Stay there. Then we got the other Christians. I got it. It's covered. Babe, you ain't got to worry about nothing. I got a plan. I got a plan for my plan. And when I work on my plan, everything's going to be just the way I planned it. Until it's not. Because we have a mixture going on. We got faith and works. And Paul said, I got it better than that. I'm going to show you my faith by my works. Which means I can't be sitting there saying the Lord going to make a way out of no way, but I didn't put my resume out. I can't say God's going to open up a door, but I don't knock. God said it's not just enough to pray. You got to have practice behind it. You got to put something behind it for me to bless. The scripture says in Proverbs 3:6, in everything you do, put God first. Let's call that for the moment prayer for this moment. And he will direct you and crown your what? Efforts with success. You got to give God something to crown. I said you got to give God something to crown. Give him your efforts. Give him your practice. He can put success on that. Give him your natural. We said he'll put his super on your natural. But you got to give him something to crown. God has put something in all of our hands. One thing we all have, equally, is time. I don't have more time than you. You don't have more than me. We all have right now. He's given us time. He put that in your hand. He's given us relationships. He's given us skills and talents and gifts. He's given some of us business and education and all of those things. He says he didn't give you all those things for you to hold your shot. Come on, somebody. My son, when he was younger, he's here today. I'm going to use you as an example. I know you don't mind. He's used to it now. He would just move so slow. It would just drive me crazy. I like what you're doing, son. I'm preserving my energy. I'm like, you're going to be able to power Georgia Electric if you keep moving like that slow. You got a lot of energy. But what he was basically saying was, I'm going to hold on to my energy. I don't need it right now. I don't need to use it right now. And I think a lot of us live our lives that way. And I said to him, I said, well, what you waiting for? So to the moment I need it, can I tell you this morning that your moment that you need it is now? Yes. What are you waiting for? Yes. You know, when I grew up, my grandparents, my father's parents, they had rooms that they didn't use. The front room. Oh, y'all felt that one, okay. I knew it. I knowed it. Uh-huh. I'm going into plastic on the couch. God help you if you had shorts on and you sat down on the couch. My grandparents on that side died when I was probably 11 and 12, or in that area, the two of them, 10 and 12, something like that. And as long as I knew, they never used their front room and never used their furniture. And the question is, what were you waiting for? What are we waiting? And I want to ask you this one, with all that God has put in your hands, and I know you don't think you got a lot, but you got time. You got people that love you. He's put a lot of you. With all he's put in, are you using the couch, or are you just leaving the front room empty? You got beautiful dishes and beautiful china. Are you using the china, or is it just a display? When God looks at you, does he see china sitting on the cabinet somewhere, or does he see paper plates being used and served to their generation? God don't need china. God doesn't need plastic on his couch. He needs vessels that he can use. He needs vessels that'll bring him glory. He needs vessels that'll bring him honor. He needs vessels that'll be used for his purposes. What are you waiting for? The party started at your birth. It's time to dance. I wish I had 5 people in here said it. I'm not throwing away my shot. God gave me a shot. February 25th, 1970. God gave me a shot, and I'm not going to throw away my shot. Come hell and high water, I won't throw away my shot. Through sickness, I won't throw away my shot. Through abandonment, I won't throw away my shot. Being misunderstood, I won't throw away my shots. I wish I had just a few folk in this morning to get in your spirit that I'm not going to throw away my shot. You don't have to like me, but I'm not going to throw away my shot. You may not always understand me, but I'm not going to throw away my shot. My way is not always easy, but I'm not going to throw away my shot. Sometimes it gets hard, and I don't know if I'll make it, but I'm not going to throw away my... You got it.